Welcome back to Recovering Addict. This Tuesday night, December 1st, I'm LT and I'm an alcoholic addict.
It's already December.
I know. 2020 is almost over.
Finally.
I think 2020 is like a roller coaster and 2020 is like tick, 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 tick. We haven't even got to the top where we're going to go crazy yet. That's my opinion.
I'm Felice, married to this handsome fella right here.
Welcome to the show. Keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. We have a good show for you tonight. We're going to talk about sobriety dates. What the heck are they for? Why are they so important, or why are they not important? I've heard some people say. And we are going to go through our book, It'll Never Happen to Me. We're exploring past history. We just look at the past and we explore it to see why we are the way we are in the future. We started an exercise yesterday, and I hope that you guys still have that pen and paper down, and we will continue with that today at the half hour. And if this is your first time catching the show, what we do is we talk about recovery. We talk about life before recovery. We have people and guests on to talk about their stories in recovery, very similar to AA or NA recovery, right? We are people who used to live in debauchery. We used to beat up and destroy our bodies, lie, cheat, and steal. And what? Oh my gosh, the sound.
What about the sound?
Okay, that should be fixed. I am so sorry.
What was it doing?
I think I had the effects on.
Did we sound like we were in a rock concert?
So hopefully it's better. Hey, Merc, I was just told here about 3 minutes ago that you're cute.
Don't tell Claiborne. His heart will be crushed.
And somebody in this house said it. That it wasn't Link or Millie. Or Felice. Or me.
It's the voice in the background.
They can't hear. Okay, so the sound is fine here. Conscious question. Thank you for watching on the Periscope side of things. Her voice is a little low. Thank you for the audio checks. I love it.
How about now?
Crank that up. Yeah, she needs to talk louder. Compared to me, she don't talk very loud. But like I said, getting back to it, this is a show.
OMG, who lied to you?
Fifth step is no bueno. This is conscious question. Yeah, that is a scary step for me. So I was in an IOP called Action. I was used to talking to the group about my deep secret things, right? And getting in recovery, getting in touch with myself. But then I wrote down step 4 and had to go sit privately with my sponsor. And I cried in front of that dude. And that was kind of weird. So yeah, step 5 isn't a tough one, you know. Aww. Admitting to yourself, to God, to yourself, and to another human being, the exact nature of your wrong. That is not something simple to do. To be honest and vulnerable and open in front of somebody that, you know, or this person, can I really trust them? You know, can they going to judge me? Am I going to go through what I learned as a child? Don't trust, don't talk, don't feel, don't cry. What was your bad experience there? Conscious question. I would like to know. Let us know about yourself, where you're at in your recovery. You probably did yesterday or Sunday night, and then I totally forgot. But anyway, this is a channel about recovery. That's what we do. We go through educational books. We answer questions from our community in the Discord. We're going to hit that at the 15 after. But until then, I'm going to let Felice say, what up?
And Mark LT doesn't think you're cute either.
I think he's freaking gorgeous. I think he's an oak. He's like an oak. So Felice doesn't think I'm cute. No, she thinks you're cute. I think you're an oak.
He thinks you're adorable.
I think you're like a manly man. Like, we were talking about that show Alone, and I was like, Merc would win this show. Yeah. And the guy that won it sounded just like you.
Yeah. What's up, Blish? Glad you're here. Brenda. Can't wait. Happy learning. Same. Shri. Love you. Claiborne. Disappointed.
Claiborne. Jeez.
You better still be my barber.
Where the heck you been?
Just kidding. I got a new one.
How's your recovery going?
His name's LT. Just kidding. How are you?
I got everybody's hair in this house.
She probably thinks you're cute, too. I don't know. Just Merc, probably. Hey, Amber.
Shandi in the house. Glad to be sober today and share it with you. Amen. I love that you're here and we get to spend another hour together.
Oh, yeah.
Not using.
Marilyn, love you.
Cassie Shelton. Nice to see you. No shame in recovery. I love that Facebook profile picture. Jimmy Harding, what's up, brother?
Conscious question. What's up, Facebook user? Hello.
Hello, Anonymous.
Hello, Raina. And I love your Barstool chairs.
Did she move out yet?
Did you get your new place? I think you did. What's up, Soupy?
Soupy in the house. What's going on, brother? Look at them traps on that guy. Holy mackerel.
Yep, those are pretty big.
Ginormous traps. You probably crush a freaking, what are those things? Walnuts? Just like that.
We should try it one day.
I could do it.
Hi, Grandma T.
Hi, Mom.
Steve, what's up?
Steve Sherwood. Sherwood.
Thanks, Marilyn.
That's a
I got
solid
this from my Bobby sister. She sent it for my birthday. I wore it just for her because usually she's on Tuesdays.
Merc's on fire, Sky Lover says. Everybody loves Merc.
Someone said Merc's head just got a little bigger.
Adjust the doorways again.
Expand. Hey, John. Hey, John's wife.
John Hovel, what's up, dog? How's recovery? How the heck is it going down south?
She needs advice. What do you need?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it. That's what the show's about. Talking. I only read the books and stuff to fill in the freaking blank spots.
And 100 days.
100 days sober, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. When we were on that Zoom meeting, probably day 2 of your sobriety, you may have even relapsed and then came back into one of our Zoom meetings. I was like, this dude ain't going to make it. But 100 days sober, bro. Proud of you. Good job. Super
amazing.
It's funny. There's always that point in time in our recovery when people around us in recovery are looking at us and going, they ain't going to make it.
He looks that way and I look this way. No, just kidding. I'm like,
Glad to see your face too. Is this anonymous?
This is Bobby's sister.
Oh, sweet.
You're here. Look, I love it. It's perfect.
I don't know where Fleece put my shirt. I would have wore it. I would have coordinated if she would have coordinated with me.
It's in the closet.
Don't be bursting my bubble, Merc says. You mean the garage door?
I wasn't completely sure.
Awesome, John.
I was kind of just guessing.
Hey, Teresa, Redmond. My bad. Hi, nice to see you. Is that a new face or am I just a forgetful drug addict?
Looks new to me.
All right. Glad you're
Recovery going good every day.
I love it, John.
Good
job.
Cassie, where's your question?
Cassie. Oh, yeah. She'll write it. Let's talk about the Kindle 24-hour a day for December 1st. Can you believe it? It's already freaking 25 days till Christmas. And I ain't going to get my shopping done until day 26, like usual.
I'm going to go get your shirt and you can put it on over that one.
There you go. The thoughts that come before having a slip. This is AA's thought of the day. The thoughts that come before having a slip. Listen to this. If you guys are in relapse or you're about to relapse or you think you're all good and you're full of self-pride and I ain't never going to relapse. I can be the DD. I'm 30 days clean. Listen to this one. The thoughts that come before having a slip are often largely subconscious. It is a question whether or not our subconscious minds ever become entirely free from alcoholic thoughts as long as we live. Now, think about that. Do we ever become entirely free from our addictive thinking, our obsession with the drug of choice? Mine was alcohol and meth. First meth, 10, 15 years later, straight blackout drunk. I still, in my subconscious, think maybe one day I can kick it on the back porch when I retire, whatever that means, and have a glass of whiskey and I'll be good. And that thought always is deep down inside. And then lately, with some struggles that I've been going through, they have actually started bubbling up. I start joking about it more. I start feeding that stupid desire, and I have to squash it. So yesterday, I told myself that I even put it in the. I think I put it in the Discord, in the Mad Chat, but that I. It was kind of a little overwhelmed, feel like giving up, and those subconscious bubbles right to the top, and I was like, man, just why? What's the point? I just give up. I had those thoughts, those kind of things going through my head, just give up, hit the liquor store. You're destined to be an alcoholic. You're destined to be a drug addict. Anything you do is 2 steps forward, 2 steps, 3 steps back, it feels like. And that's kind of stuff, so we have to really be on guard on how we feed what goes in our ears and our eyes to help suppress that subconscious to at least, it's whatever you're feeding, right? The spirit or the flesh, the recovery or the not recovery. Which one are you feeding? Which one are you starving? This goes on to say, for instance, some of us dream about being drunk when we're asleep, even after several years of sobriety. During the period of our drinking days, our subconscious minds have been thoroughly conditioned by our alcoholic way of thinking, and it is doubtful if they ever become entirely free of such thoughts during our lifetime. But when our conscious minds are fully conditioned against drinking, we can stay sober and our subconscious minds do not often bother us. So here's the question. Am I still conditioning my conscious mind? Like I said, you got to condition that conscious mind to suppress that subconscious mind to be in full recovery all the time so that you may be more successful. Our meditation of the day says, having sympathy and compassion for all who are in temptation, a condition that we are sometimes in, we have a responsibility toward them. Sympathy always includes responsibility. Pity is useless because it does not have a remedy for the need. But wherever our sympathy goes, our responsibility goes too. When we are moved with compassion, we should go to the one in need and bind up their wounds as best as we can. When you're filled with compassion, go be of service to somebody and help wherever they're broken. Here's our prayer of the day. As I pray that I may have sympathy for those in temptation, I pray that I may have compassion for other trials. Very good.
Amen. Delivery.
Oh, should I go put it on real quick?
Take it off. Take it. No?
I will. I don't think that'd be appropriate.
Raina, what do you mean you slipped? What does that mean? Explain it to me, my friend.
She slipped and fell.
No. Did you?
Off the couch.
Earthquake. Remember that, Raina? That was crazy. Let's see. Cassie said, oh, the cat looks good. I've had to go to court for the trouble I've caused in addiction. No big deal until it comes. Yeah, stay adventurous. That looks good.
That is a good looking shirt, isn't it?
Yeah. Good job, sister.
I look so much better in black.
You look good in both.
I like black.
When I have to explain all this to my grandmother, she says, and I quote, "You should have just went to prison."
Damn, grandma's mad at you. So I've had to go to court for the trouble I've caused in addiction. Been there, done that. No big deal until it comes to money. But did you ask your grandma for money? But when I have to explain all this to my grandmother, she says, I quote, "You should have went to prison." That's tough. I understand the feeling. Yeah, it definitely hurts. They don't understand a lot of times if she's never, and she's your grandma, and if you're anything towards my age, your grandma's probably hardcore from the old school, but they don't have quite the grasp of what recovery is or addiction either. We have a lot more new insight to addiction this day and age than they had back then as well. That whole grin and bear it type thing, white knuckle it, you should just be more responsible and just dig your way out. And so they're not as empathetic as we are towards other addicts. It's a tough one, but at the same time, what we did in our addiction was what we did. It caused and burned a lot of bridges. We caused a lot of heartache, and a lot of people aren't going to be nice to us because of that. And that's just something that we have to live with because of what we've done. And it's an acceptance thing. Read page 417 in the big book. That may help. And learn to love yourself and learn to forgive yourself, and don't have expectations of what she is going to react towards you. I heard a quote, and I say it all the time now, is, expectations are resentments under construction. If you're expecting, that's a resentment being built right underneath your feet. Because if you don't get what you're expecting, then you get that little feeling and, maybe some type of resentment. You just love her the best you can and ask her for forgiveness and move on and show her by your lifestyle that you're not going back, and that prison wasn't the best idea. If the higher power wanted you in prison, you'd be in prison, right?
Yep. How are you doing, Sky?
Sky love.
Me too.
Sky, it's okay. Pick yourself up.
We love you, Sky.
You're still that much closer, He's back. He's in black. Yeah.
Wait, no, I didn't ask for money. She says, how are you going to pay for everything?
Oh, gotcha. So she's just kind of hounding you about it. Well, how are you going to do this? Look what you did. Oh, you messed this up. Now you're going to do that. Oh, yeah. Maybe she's doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had to ask for money. My mom paid for my lawyer when I was in jail.
Rena said, I took half a pill and then questioned myself as to why I took it, because I didn't need it. Yes, I fell. And the neighbor called the paramedics. Oh. So you fell both ways. You okay?
Dang it.
Dang it, Rena.
Hope you're okay physically. Half a pill, that's your addict back in action. You probably didn't even get high or anything, but that's your addict.
Just be careful.
What have you been doing in recovery? Remember, we talked about relapse, right? Relapse starts before you ever take a pill or drink or use any drug. Remember our book, Staying Sober, that I always have in the picture, is like walking up a down escalator. This escalator's going down. It's always moving in that direction. We have to walk up this thing in recovery. As soon as we stop, we hit the bottom. And the moment we stop, that's when relapse happens. When you get to the bottom, that's when drinking and drugs happen. So you always got to reevaluate before you took that pill, before you drank that drink and relapse, what was going on a week, maybe 2, maybe a month, maybe just a couple days. Look back over the past. And that's why it's always good to journal, take your inventory every day. So you got to keep up on your mind and where you're at so that you know when you do fall, what's going on.
Yeah. Let me know when you get that place and we can have that ladies' night we've been talking about.
Oh, Cassie says that's exactly how she's being. That's tough. It's tough. I got friends and family for the same thing, and during my addiction, like, oh, there he is again, drunkard. And I would try not to slur my word, and I'd feel one slur come out, and you could see they're looking in their eyes like, oh boy, here we go again.
She's old school. Told me how her and Papa ate peanut butter and crackers every day for a long time.
Yeah. And don't come crying to me about your little problems you made for yourself. Yeah.
We're here for you.
We're here for you. It's hard when their compassion is in another direction. They haven't been there. Maybe. Samantha Kohler, good to see you.
What's up, Josh?
So glad to see you too. Josh Beam, what's up, brother? Been boozy. Bruised your ego. Yeah, egos get bruised pretty easily, especially mine. Mine's made of very thin glass.
It's like his bones.
Yeah. All righty. Let's check this out real quick. The question from the Discord, if you have not, Felice is going to drop links here in just a second. Join our community. We have a Discord and a private Facebook page. Join them both or join them one of them. I don't care. Just jump in there. It's a great place to be and get support if you are struggling. It's a place just to hang out with other people who are in recovery. We're definitely cleaning up the Discord. We don't want just a bunch of random people that are not in recovery. If you're in the Discord, you're there because you're engaged in recovery and your desire is to help people out, or you are struggling and you're trying to quit, just like AA or NA. The only membership requirement is a desire to quit. We have people slip up, we have people fall, we get down. I have my bad days and have to vent as well. And that's what the Discord is for. But there is a little channel into the Discord called Questions for the Live. And if you push a question in there, I'll do a little bit of research and I will answer it to the best of my ability here live on the show. And we do that at 8:15 as a segment. And that's what we're doing right now. And this question comes from Dez. And he's talking about sober dates. What happens if you relapse? What if you have multiple types of drugs and you use one and not the other? Do you have multiple sobriety dates kind of thing? So what's the deal with sobriety dates? So I looked up an article. And I'm going to post the link to this article in the chat so that you guys, if you want to check it out, you can read along with me or save it for later. But I'm going to skim through it with y'all real quick. It says, every once in a while, those who attend 12-step meetings may hear someone open by sharing and giving their sobriety dates. There are men and women in the world, excuse me, in the world over who will not share at AA or NA without mentioning this date, as it is one of the dates held dearest to the heart at some meetings. It is even common to start with groups introductions in which everybody, a lot of times, hey, I'm LT, I'm an alcoholic addict, sobriety date, October 5th, 2019. That's how I would start in these type of meetings. And a lot of people hold this dear. The other information given by the people at such meetings may be subject to change. However, whenever introductions are given, you can almost always count on the fact that sobriety dates will be included. And there's reasons for this. Our sobriety date is one of the most important facts we share about ourselves in recovery. It's a milestone. Some of us may choose to embrace the anonymous aspect of the 12-step program a bit more zealously than others, but we will still generally share this one vital piece of info about ourselves when it is requested. Before discussing why, no, I'm not going to look at that. Moving on. How do you define your sobriety date? So this sounds like a simple question, but poke around the internet for a little bit and you'll see that there's a freaking million answers to it. You got many people consider this to be the first full day. Is it the first day that you're completely sober because the day before you used? A lot of people will be like, well, the day I decided to quit, but I was still drunk or high. Is it that day? Some people I've even heard talk about, well, if you took a drug test in 30 days, you'd still be dirty like for weed, so you can't really say you're sober. I think at that point it's subjective. What day did you decide to start getting better? That can be your sobriety date. One day at a time. Of course, there are some who say that the only sobriety date which truly matters is today. People will be like, well, we don't worry about sobriety dates, right? Today is the only day that we're worth talking about. There's common expression in recovery that between a person with 30 years of sobriety and a person with only 30 days sobriety, the soberer of the two is the one who woke up the earliest. This is clearly a reference to the dictum is that how you say that?
It's too tiny, I can't see.
That we must live one day at a time, but some people take it very seriously. We once met a man who, upon picking up his 3-year chip, said that his original 24-hour chip was still the most important one he had ever been given. And that is a very important chip. Maybe that could be your sobriety date. You haven't been to a meeting yet, or an AA or NA, and you get a key tag or an Alcoholics Anonymous chip. Maybe you could call that your birthday. It's up to you. Now, here's some reasons to remember our sobriety dates. In a sense, we already briefly touched on some of the reasons to remember the date. It reminds you of an important date in your life, a date on which your life began to change for the better. That said, there are many other reasons for which we should always remember our sobriety dates, and some of the reasons to help explain why many old timers will not share in meetings without mentioning their sobriety date. One of the primary reasons to remember sobriety date is that it helps us remember not only when our life began to change for the better, but also what it was like before, right? It's a great marker in your life. I am who I am today because I decided on this day to not be who I was yesterday and the years prior, right? It's a great place to measure our gratitude. Remembering our sobriety date is also a measure of gratitude for those who have helped us stay sober. Building a strong and sober support network is one of the most important aspects of any relapse prevention plan. That's why we say jump in and join our Discord. Right now, the world's crazy, right? We don't know if we're going to have to be Zoom meeting the rest of we don't know when things are going to actually officially ever open up normally again. Join a strong support network, and in Discord, you will find that. It's a great relapse prevention strategy. So while gratitude is best expressed through actions, it also built from a mindset. This mindset is strengthened every time we recall our sobriety date and remember ourselves that we might not have met many of the people in our support network if that fondly remembered day had gone differently. Now take your sobriety date, look at it, and go, what if that day didn't go the way that it did? What if I relapsed hard that day or I decided to give up? You wouldn't know all the people you know now who have given you encouragement and strength throughout the years. We wouldn't have had Rob on the show telling us about his bells. We wouldn't know Alicia and her awesome story she told us on this show. We wouldn't have met Merck if on October 5th, recovery didn't kick in for me. Who knows? This basement can still be trashed. The house half tore apart. And 25 pounds heavier than I was, destroying my liver, drinking a fifth of whiskey every night. That could have very been a possibility.
It could be at a funeral.
Could be at a funeral. So it's a really good date, gratitude for that date. It's a good lesson in humility. Finally, remembering our sobriety dates can teach us a lot about humility. There are times in which we may look back and think how great our lives have improved from what they used to be. There are other times, however, at which we may realize that the great links of our recovery have not fully cured us of our character defects. What? I've been in recovery this long and I still got character defects? No way. So that's the humble aspect of it, right? You got a mouse.
I know.
We have grown quite a bit, I hope. And that is to be certain. But as far as we have come, we may still have a ways to go before we have made some of the fundamental changes that we would like to make. So trying to eliminate our character defects is like trying to carry a load of laundry without a basket, right? You pick up one sock and another one escapes and hits the floor. It's a juggling act for most of us, and it's never truly over. It is. Character defects is something we're going to have to work on the rest of our lives. That's why step 10 is what it is. Your sober date, if you want to keep it, can help keep others clean. It has the ability to inspire other people. You talk about your sobriety date in a meeting and people have something to look up to. You tell some of your stories and who you used to be, and they look at who you are now and go, no way. And you give them that sobriety date that gives them hope. That's kind of our whole goal is recovering people, using the 12 step, being inspired by having a spiritual awakening and moving forward into recovery. Our hope now, our job now is to just inspire hope in the still suffering addict and those who are struggling through relapses that, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. So a sobriety date is a very important thing to mark down, I believe. But how do you measure your sobriety date is completely up to you. I'm going to give you how I measure mine. I have 2 sobriety dates because there is a technicality, scientific technicality, so you can look at it that way, right? The last time I let alcohol touch my mouth, last time I took a drink of whiskey was on October 5th, or October 4th, that night, right? So the next day, I took 3 shots of whiskey. So my technical clean date from alcohol is that day, right? Yeah, hit that like button. But my sobriety date is August 18th. That's the one I hold a little more dear. That's the one I finally picked up the phone. I had hit complete rock bottom. I'm sitting in a motorhome after a 4-day gallons of whiskey bender and just a few months of just complete rock bottom destruction, completely drunk, missing work, just horrible place I was in. I finally decided to pick up the phone and ask for help and to be taken to a hospital and to detox on August 18th. 2019. And that is kind of like that's the date I decided to start getting better. And so that's a good one, right? But October 10th would be the day that I'm going to say in meetings because that's my technical clean date. You know what I mean? So October 5th, Fleece got me a cool sign. You can't see it. It's up over there. Hanging up on our cool wall. Maybe I'll hang it here. It might look good right there. That's a good idea. But that would be my technical clean day, October 5th, 2019, where I would go get a chip on that day and tell my story. Hey, how'd you do it? Good job. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Well, what's up, Bob Smith up in the house?
Yeah, Bob's here. And
nice.
Guess who has 9 months?
I saw that. I was going to bring that up. 9 months for my boy, Jake.
Congratulations. Proud of you.
Me too, brother. That is freaking awesome. I remember when you just had 6 months, 3 months ago. That was so cool.
Very cool.
I wish we had a video to play. I'd play it.
Yeah, we should get some of those.
Yeah. But that's that article. I dropped a link in there if you guys want to read all of it. I just skimmed through it. But you got your technical sobriety, but it's subjective to you. Which day do you want it to be? You could actually list it out. I know John V, he keeps 3 different dates. He keeps a food date for when he was overeater, I believe it is, an alcohol date, and a gambling date. And he has a different birthday for all 3, which is fine. However you decide to keep track of yours, if you have a relapse or a slip up, and that's technically, it's up to you to decide, but is that your sober date? Is it a relapse or a lapse? A lapse is, and I love this example. Say you're on a diet, right? You're working out, you're doing good, and you decide for a month you're not going to eat any sugar. One Sunday, you find some cupcakes, you have a cupcake. Ah, dang it. But you go right back to your diet. No big deal. You had a lapse. A relapse would be just throwing your diet out the window, cupcakes for breakfast, ice cream for dinner, hitting Snickers at lunch, and just falling off the wagon, right? So however, it's up to you subjectively how you want to measure it. I would do it the way that you find the most value to give you the most inspiration for your sobriety to move forward in your recovery.
He said, send me a link.
I just did.
Okay.
Or no, I didn't. I'll drop it one more time.
406.
406. Is that an error? Or is that 402?
That's how many pieces he has.
I know, but 40, like that error that pops up all the time on Google.
I think it's 402. I get that one a lot. Oh, update on Princess is thinking about coming to O-Town.
What?
Did I hear O-Town?
Ogden?
She wants to go in the desert and pitch a tent and get off the meth. I told her to go to O-Town. Thought I'd warn you.
Dude, that'd be cool.
That'd be crazy. I'd
Wow.
like to be a princess.
But if she's going to pitch a 10 out in O-Town, she's going to find meth. 401 Samantha says.
Oh, 401.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. Night, Cassie.
Night, Cassie. Thanks for stopping in. Thank goodness I never tattooed my sobriety day, right?
That was the face. I think I did it perfect.
Oh, that's it. That's funny. Yeah, Bob. Give her one of my cards or have her get a hold of us. My phone number's on the website.
She's going to be in the tent in our backyard, huh?
Oh, boy.
We need a bigger house.
404? I guess it depends on the error.
801.
On
That's our area code.
I still have that RV Weavers.
Yeah, but somebody's living in it.
Yes, we do. But that's where Daniel is. He just joined the Discord. He's in our RV.
I told you we need a bigger house.
Jake is right. 404. Error 404. What does that 404 even mean? So stupid.
It means error.
Okay, so yesterday we started.
I work on websites.
And you didn't know. That's awesome. You work on websites? Let us know what you think about ours.
Raina, is it O-Town Tweakersville?
Yes.
Yeah, give her our info.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, very happy. Yeah, O-Town, that's where I did all my meth. I ran around. I mean, they've cleaned up Ogden quite a bit over the last 20 years as far as it's a lot of historical sites, and they dumped a lot of money into these places downtown and really cleaned up the place. But yeah, meth has, I remember when it was ground zero, we had strike force on us. We had people following us. People thought I was crazy, right? I was on this meth bender when I was on my meth bender, and some of my sober friends that weren't crazy. Oh, it's a dead website page. And I'm like, dude, people follow me around. They're like, you're just out of your mind. You're a drug addict, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, dude, they follow me. And I was like, I'll prove it to you. So we went driving around, and I finally, I'm like, okay, they're following us. And I'm like, watch. And so I kind of do the little couple of tricks I'd started learning from when they were following us. And then I whipped into this mobile home park, one entrance in, one entrance out. So I whipped in there, went up the middle street and parked. And I said, watch, there's going to be 4 cars that come right through here, and they're going to have papers in their hands. And sure enough, they did. Foo, foo, foo. And I went walking out in the middle of the street, and I tried to stop one, and they have like this list. And all they did was like keep tracking. Later, I found out after my buddy joined the police force, and then he realized, oh, okay, you weren't tripping. This is who they are. But like retired sheriffs, retired military people. But that's what they were doing at this point in time in Ogden, was to locate all the traffic. You know, it wasn't like today where we have cell phones that it can track and all that. No facial recognition cameras and stuff. You know, this was back in early 2000s. But they would just follow us around and write down the addresses we would go to, and just who's going where, what car's going to what, and all that kind of stuff.
404 is the relapse, initial relapse number.
If you make it over 404, you're awesome.
406, Steve, you're awesome.
You're awesome, Steve. You did it. You got past the hard one. All right. So yesterday, as we were going through this book, It Will Never Happen to Me, they had us write down our family tree, right? You write down your mom's and your dad's, maternal grandparents, aunts and uncles. You go through your parents, your step parents. You go through your brothers and sisters. You write down spouses, children, and you make a whole family tree to the best of your ability out of your mind to see how much you really know about the past. We're exploring the past. We're looking at it. Remember, we're looking at it to not lay blame, but to just figure out what we went through, our reality of the events that went on, not what was hammered into our minds, to assess what's going on with us today. And like it says here in this book, as you go through and you make this list of your family tree, if you have one handy, grab it. It says, draw a little circle next to the names of people whom you know who have experienced alcohol and other drug problems. So you can start going through your family and seeing who's an addict and alcoholic in your family. You put a check mark by the names of people who you know who have experienced eating disorders. So we're breaking down other people's past that has to do with us. And then you take an X and you mark the names of the people whom were physical abusers, or they actually experienced abuse. You indicate with a square the names of people who you know and were perpetrators, you know, molesters, incest molesters, or incest victims themselves. Then with a star, by the names of the people who you know who experienced other identifiable dysfunctions, and name that problem. So you go through and you're just like creating this exploration of your past, which is going to help bring light to where you're at and why you may be experiencing the stuff that you experience in your adulthood, and the type of person that at the beginning of this book has taught us if you've been here the whole time. It says one of the consequences of growing up in a home with the don't talk rule is people develop a silent tolerance for inconsistencies, untruths, and painful feelings. Reflect on people you may have talked to about your problems at home when you were a young child and a teenager, and then you want to check the frequency with which you can remember talking about your problems. So how much did you actually talk about your problems when you were a child? Did you have the no talk rule pounded on your head, so when you had problems, you just swallowed them? Did you, and you kind of go through mother, father, stepmother, stepfather, brothers and sisters and grandparents, other family members. Then you can go to teachers, counselors, clergy, friends, neighbors, pastors, whatever. And it has a thing. Did you never talk about it with these people? Once you did, occasionally, or often? You know, you kind of explore your family tree, the drama and the trauma inside your family tree, and alcoholism and drug abuse, and kind of just see where that lies. Then you look at yourself and the problems that you know you had, and did you talk about it to anybody? Boy, do I relate to the don't talk rule.
Never.
I'm not going to tell you whether I did or not. Get it?
We're going to talk about it. This is a good book.
Yeah, this is a good one. I put a new link in the bottom of this video to help you, or to lead you to the actual third edition that's coming out soon. It's a blue one. Make sure you grab the blue one.
What's up, Sober Chick?
Hey, Sober Chick.
Hopefully that
cool
chick
name.
wants to come on and get an interview.
Which one?
The book writer lady.
I know.
That would be way cool.
So now it talks about, and now in your adult life, you look back and say, okay, I never talked about my problems with anybody. Now make a list of people who you're willing to talk to. Okay. In some instances, certain issues were present in your life, in your family life as a child and a teenager, that may have prevented you from talking about problematic areas in your life. And then you're going to make this list, and they're going to circle why. Why didn't I talk about these problems? Did you feel ashamed? Did you feel disloyal, or like you were betraying? Oh, if I go tell this person about my problem, I'm going to be disloyal because it's a problem I have with, somebody. Were you too embarrassed? Did you not understand what was occurring well enough to even talk about it? Were you afraid that nobody would believe you? Were you specifically told you don't talk about this? Was it insinuated in a nonverbal way that you don't talk about this? Were you kind of browbeat and threatened about it? Did it seem as though no one else was talking, so you're not going to talk about it? Did you believe something bad would happen if you did talk about it? Or did you come to believe that nothing good would have come from talking? Well, what's the point of talking about it? Ain't nothing good going to come from it anyway, so I ain't even going to talk about it. You kind of just, what was the whole situation of why you didn't talk about things? If as an adult you still have difficulty talking about your childhood, your adolescence, put a check by the above statements, because these types of feelings may still be preventing you from talking about your problems. Talking and feeling your problems is what's going to help you heal. It's going to bring them to reality. You're going to tell your truth. And when we say your truth, it's what you remember experiencing as a child. List the people right now. There's another little list to make. List the people in your life today with whom you already are willing to talk about your childhood. Do you have a support system or people close to you that you are willing to talk about your problems to? So if you feel a sense of shame when talking about your growing up years, try to understand that you weren't at fault. Okay? Shamed into silence, yeah. Your parents would have liked to have been different, so what you experience is, like, when I look at my children and the way that I raised them a year and a half ago prior, with my addictive thinking, my addictive personality, my extreme personality, and then the last part was fueled by alcohol. I didn't want that for them. Of course I wanted it different. So they have to, when they grow up, look back on that life and have to realize, hey, that wasn't my fault. And, the problems that I'm sure I've caused for them as they're going to grow into adults. So if you feel that kind of stuff, if you feel a sense of shame when talking about it, just remember, it's not your fault. So if you feel a sense of guilt when talking, Trust that you are not betraying your parents. If you're talking to a counselor about your problem, you're not betraying your parents. You're not betraying your family or yourself. If there is any betrayal, you are betraying the addictive system, right? The addictive system doesn't want you to talk about it. It wants you to stay miserable, our addicts inside, and the things that nature of just pressure on us. Smile, Felicia, you're on camera. Cheese.
You're not going to break this time, folks. Bark, bark, bark. Stop it, Sheree.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to mute my mic because I'm going to yell. So
don't tickle me, Aubrey.
We do not have Cassie coming on tonight, but we do have Linky with a joke. And Allie, are you going to give us a quote of the day?
I wasn't prepared for one.
Google.
Hurry.
Sarah.
Oh. What do you call a girl named Sarah that drives a van?
What?
A Saravan.
Saravan. What's pointless? Oh, why shouldn't you write with a broken pencil?
It's pointless.
It's pointless.
I like that one. Are you prepared yet, Allie?
Yeah.
Yay! We have a special guest tonight. I wish I had a cool video to play.
Look, I'll take a linky.
What video could we play for Allie to come out? We could do the Teeter Time video.
We can make our own video. It's the Allie quote of the day.
Ooh, what was that quote yesterday from Alone?
Quote. I don't remember. There's a Alone quote?
I don't know. This is the first one I found.
It'll do.
That'll do, donkey.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do.
It does not matter how slowly you go in life as long as you don't stop.
Ooh.
I like that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I was doing burpees today.
Yeah?
That's a good recovery quote, too.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how slow your recovery's going. Just don't stop. My goodness. I agree.
This is my new sister.
Yes, Merc says. Hey, look, Merc.
Belly roll.
She said you were cute.
You should move to Utah.
Merc, you should move to Utah.
We have a motorhome.
We'll kick Daniel out. He hasn't been here for a few days anyway.
She's cool.
All right, that's enough joking around. Let's get back to recovery. Jeez.
Yeah, guys, quit trying to tickle me and make me break.
My goodness. Thank you, Allie. All right, so if you feel, we're talking about you talking about your problems. If you didn't talk about them when you were young, why aren't you talking about them today? Do you still feel this type of stuff? And maybe you felt like this, right? A sense of confusion about your childhood. It's probably an accurate description of how life has been for you. Confusion, right? When attempting to explain irrational behavior in a rational manner, it'll sound confusing. But talk. It will help you develop a greater clarity. Talk it out. Remember in our book, my favorite passage that I like to read out of that book?
Make the Merc
you
blush.
made the Merc blush.
Ooh.
Ooh, I got some stress tips.
I'm blushing.
Yes.
I got some stress tips.
Let's hear your stress tip.
All right.
Just your
So,
size.
if any of y'all are having stress, here are 5 things you can do. Practice your breathing. Name 5 things you could see. Name 5 things you could feel. Name 5 things you could smell. And name 5 things you can hear.
Ooh.
Ah,
That'll get your mind off some things.
I'm gonna have to try
It's a 38-foot motorhome with 2 pop-outs.
This is not a dating service.
Who said that?
Sheree. I feel like it is.
Oh, that's funny.
Bye, Debbie.
All right, so maybe you felt like this. Diva, gotta get ready for work. Debbie.
Hey, Merc's moving in the motorhome.
Woo!
Ooh, she's happy. All right, so maybe you feel fear that you will not be believed. A great deal of information is available which will substantiate that your experiences are not unique. right? A lot of people have experienced a lot of the exact same things all of us have experienced. It's funny. Allie, can I talk about you for a second?
Yeah.
So Allie was really tough-headed in the beginning of her recovery. I remember our first few days talking about it, just the typical, just like everybody else. My situation's unique. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know me. And now she's, getting up to the 40-day mark and she has somebody close to her who's in recovery. She's looking at them and they're like, you don't know my life. Oh, my struggles are so much harder. You'll never understand. And she's like, whoa, that was me. Right?
Right. It's like you walk into an AA group. They've been through what you've been through.
Exactly. And that's why it's here. It says fear that you won't be believed. If you have that fear that you won't be believed, there's a lot of available information that'll show that your experiences are not that unique. People will believe you, right? What you're going through is definitely going to be believable because the person you're probably talking to went through it as well, especially if they're in recovery. If somebody's in recovery and has a sobriety date, that means that they set a date that they wanted to set their life in a different direction. They don't want to be the person they used to be. And if they're telling you a sobriety date, you can guarantee that they're going to believe that you are struggling. And it's not as unique as you may think.
And it's got a big fridge.
It's actually a double door fridge and a double door freezer.
Yes, you can buy it, Marilyn.
Yes, I do want to sell it. I'll give it away at this point.
Awesome.
I hate this stupid thing. All right. Now, so if you've been specifically instructed, either verbally or non-verbally, not to talk, recognize that instruction was motivated by fear or guilt. You don't have to live that way any longer. Have you experienced something negative from people you spoke with in the past and you're now free to choose a healthier support system? Maybe you tried to express yourself before and you got beat down. You're older now. You found a better support system. It's okay. Have been conditioned to believe that nothing good comes from talking. But put faith in the belief it is only when you finally begin to speak your truth that you will be able to put the past behind and experience the joy of the present.
Nikki, why is it called the present?
Just say it.
Because now is a gift.
Yes,
There you
because
go.
now is a gift. What did Des say? He made a good point.
About the fridge being small, but it's not. It's bigger than our fridge.
Yeah. You're set. All right, now denial. We're going to talk about a little bit about denial. And it's not a river.
Pretty sure it is.
Oh, it is a river. So in recognizing each family member's denial, it is possible to see how the whole family environment has affected you. Think about times your family discounted or minimized situations or feelings. Now, remember, we made our family tree. We circled the addicts. We circled the problems, right? Molestations or any of abuse or eating disorders, anything. You're recognizing what you know. You're exploring the past to the best of your ability. You can even call an aunt and uncle, mom, or dad for help and help building this family tree. And now you're going to look at the time that mom minimized, discounted, or rationalized any of the problems you went through. And the same thing with your dad, your step-parent, brother, or sister. Think about any time that you were trying to be open to them, did they minimize, discount, or rationalize, oh, your problem's like this, let me just justify that away, right? Quote for today, sobriety is never owned. It's rented, and rent is due every day. Ooh, I like that one.
Rent's due, Allie.
Did you hear that, Rally?
What?
The quote of the day is sobriety is never owned. It's rented and rent is due every day. That's a good one, huh?
That's a good one.
So, Marlon.
Hey, what's up? Now reflect on your adulthood. So you're looking back at your childhood when you do that to see if anytime you try to, talk about your problems, it was discounted, minimized, rationalized. Now reflect on your adulthood and complete the following. Today, I minimize. Now, when you have a problem, are you minimizing? Are you rationalizing or discounting your problems, right? When in reality, so you go, number one, I minimize this. When in reality, it's this. Today, and you do that 3 or 4 times, right? As you work through these exercises, you will begin to recognize yourself in the act of denial. As a result, this awareness will allow you to be more honest to better identify your own feelings, and eventually to identify your need to offer the opportunity for greater self-care. Eliminating denial will allow you to see the things for which they are, which will alleviate long-range problems and allow you to begin to live in the life of the here and now. See, what we're trying to do is just get a view. What's going on? How has it affected me? How can I change it? And then start moving on to a better, healthier, happier life. Get rid of these things that are hindering us, because a lot of times we don't know them. And that's why this last show yesterday and today is called Exploring the Past, exploring past trauma. You got to look at it. And remember, we're not laying blame. We're not building the step 4 out of it. We're just trying to get an overview of our life and why we are the way we are. Our negative feelings are more likely to lessen when we are able to talk about them. That's true. When we don't express these feelings, they accumulate. Years ago, as small children, we began rolling our feelings up in a bundle like a small piece of snow rolling down a hill. And these feelings have now become a great big snowball. And by the time the snowball reaches the bottom of the hill, by the time we have grown up, right? These feelings have simply been stored up, painful feelings upon painful feelings. And no wonder we're scared. Now we have to get in touch with all our feelings. We are understandably overwhelmed. We've let this all accumulate as we've grown into adulthood. Whatever we went through in the past, this book is about growing up with parents, one or the other or both, in addiction. And that caused problems. It definitely did. And the more you've suppressed the rules in this book called out, the don't talk, don't touch, don't feel, don't think, just survive, and you've created this personality just to survive these times and suppress these feelings. And now they're huge. And now maybe you've been an addict, and now you have a sober date. And now you got to get rid. We got rid of the alcohol, but we still got the ism, right? And this is the ism we're dealing with. And it's understandably overwhelming.
It is. Well, I remember when I was younger and I would have feelings, I would always go hide. And that's something I had to realize in my adulthood. Like if we would fight, I would want to go hide and not talk about it. Then you'd make me talk about it.
Thank you very much, Marilyn. Yeah, I would always make you talk.
But now it's a lot easier for me to talk about it. Now if things bug me, I talk about it right away.
Marilyn for the first Aussie Merc. Oh, speaking of that, Sheree, we got it figured out, and Merc's Aussie Merc is on the way to his house.
Yes. Yep. That's happening today. Happened.
All that browbeating is decades away now. The only time I get a taste of that old stoicism is holiday dinner. I've changed. All I talk about anything in my life now, closed closet door is open. Awesome. Yeah. It's best to break that stigma, open it up, and talk about it. And the people that are afraid to open up emotionally just run away.
And hide under the bed or
and
the
they hide.
Those were my spots when I was a kid. And then my parents would come and find me.
So present day disappointments, losses, angers, and fears become intertwined with old disappointments, losses, angers, and fears, making it difficult to separate old issues from new ones. Having a feeling does not mean you need to act on it. How one feels and what one does with those feelings are separate issues. In early recovery, being aware of your feelings and identifying them is significant. Letting your feelings be your friend, not something to be denied or minimized. Feelings are not there to rule you, but to be cues and signals to tell you something. Acceptance of feelings combined with the ability to express them will decrease fear and generate greater inner confidence. Feelings seem inappropriate only when they are not understood. So have a feeling, check it out. And who said that the other day? It was Jake or somebody. But just, there's a feeling, just watch it like a cloud going by in the sky. There it is. Acknowledge it. Watch how you act against it. And understand, it's just a feeling. And if it gives you anxiety and all that stuff, wait 3 to 5 minutes, change your thinking, and it'll go away. So what are the messages that interfere with your willingness to show specific feelings? What are the messages after that whole exercise? Ask yourself, what are the messages that interfere with your willingness to show specific feelings? There's some feelings that you have that you don't dare to show people. Why? Why not? Think about it. It's just for you. You ain't got to tell nobody right now. You ain't got to go declare it to the world just because, Just to start to understand that about yourself. Stoicism. The story of the boy with the wild fox pup under his coat standing in front of the game warden. The fox is crowing on him, but he has to keep a calm face.
Chewing on him.
Sober chick's biggest fear is acceptance. Do you enjoy? It's kind of weird, huh? How we have these character defects and some of the anger and resentments we have towards others, we enjoy having those. Even though it like doesn't feel good and we don't, we wouldn't say like, man, I can't wait to get me a chunk of that anger pie when I get home. You don't want to feel like that, but at the same time, it's like, if you didn't like it, why wouldn't you let it go? And maybe that's the way I feel about my dad. I don't know. Chewing.
It's just become comfortable.
And the fox is chewing on him, but he has to keep a calm face. Yeah, maybe it's a comfort place and you're afraid of change. That is true. All right, so let me look at this real quick. We got some other stuff about this exploration. This may turn into 4 or 5 parts. I don't know. And Thursday, we're going to have a guest all day, as Thursday nights are going to change as well. And just give it a few weeks, a month or so here at Recovering Addict, and we will have shows changing just a little bit. Everything's kind of changing. Dez and Cherie and everybody that gave me the advice of, hey, pal, slow down. You're taking on too much. I had to take that advice because I could feel it happening this last month or so, and have had to make changes to prevent that from going to where you guys know where it would go. Did you read this?
Not yet. You were still talking.
Go ahead.
I learned some things about my childhood today I never knew from my grandpa. Made some direct lines to feelings I have today towards certain things and situations.
Wow. That's awesome. That's what this is for. I'm glad, brother. I hope it added value. And if this is adding value to your sobriety and you guys are liking what you see, please just hit that like button. Give us a heart and some love on Facebook side and share it out if y'all could, please. That would be great help for all of us. I have to teach people. Go ahead.
I was saying, Bobby said, I have to teach people that talking about my feelings doesn't make me emotional. It keeps me sober.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody's emotional. Even the biggest, toughest chainsaw wielding, axe throwing, bearded animals who act like they're not and never cry. They're probably some of the most emotional people in the world. My father-in-law.
He's a teddy bear.
He's a teddy bear.
You think they try to be tough, but they're teddy bears. That's why we like them.
Oh, no. People accepting me, bad parts and all. We're all broken, and the right people will accept you if you put yourself in the right places. Sober Chick. Man, I like that name. That's cool. Are you like a YouTuber and stuff? I'm going to have to check out your channel. But hey, we accept you right here, Sober Chick. Bad parts and all. Because if I don't accept you in your bad parts, then why would you accept me in all mine? Because mine are more than yours, I'll bet you.
And if you watched Rob's story, I was telling LT this today, but my favorite part was when he went to the AA meetings and they all told him, we're going to love you until you love yourself. I feel like
we're going to love you until you love yourself.
So there you go.
That's Recovering Addict, because we recover better together.
I love that one too.
John Hovel, good night, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Congratulations on 100 days of sobriety.
So amazing. How's the wifey doing before you go? I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah. How's everybody doing?
Night, Johns.
All right. This show ain't over till we say the Serenity Prayer, so don't you go nowhere.
Yeah. Pray with us.
Praises us.
Good. I'm glad we made you feel welcome.
Who are we not?
Who are we not? Who sees us naked in the shower? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. All right. I'm glad that you felt welcome, man, on the Discord. Amen. So cool. Cool name on YouTube. Link.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jake just said link.
I'm here. This type of link or this?
What are we giving him a link for?
You want a link to the Discord?
I have a link.
Do you want this link?
My link's still with the line.
God of your own. Okay, Sheree, make it clear for everybody. We get it.
That God sees you naked in the shower too.
Oh. Thank you, Mom. Put my bearded lady on. Does Jake want to be on the show? Like, what? I don't understand the question.
Did you send him the link? He wanted to talk about his 90 days.
Oh, Shiza, let's get there.
You said you just sent it.
I did what?
You said I sent it to him already.
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't know that's what was happening. I thought he meant a link to the article.
Oh, I wanted a link to the.
Here, bro. All right, so we're going to have a little special guest real quick.
Sorry.
Jake in his 90 days, he's going to tell us how he did it. And his beard, I think, is probably 90 days long.
About.
Text message. Oh, jeez. If you had an iPhone, that would be really easy. Oh, my goodness. You non-iPhone havers.
Woo!
All of us.
Where's my name?
Cheaper that way.
Work smarter, not
Because
harder.
now I got to go like this. And it's one more step in my process. Blobby, blobby, blobby. Now I got to go copy.
The
Now
next
I got to
live
go
stream
paste.
is Thursday.
My
with Jake?
goodness. Yeah.
Thursday with Jake, Amber. Same time, same place.
Boom.
Maybe Jake's house.
Here it comes, homeboy. There you go.
Homie, don't play that.
Home dog. Alex is never the answer.
No, we'll decide. Oh, Annie says hi, Millie.
Hi.
She
I'm
said
dragging your dog around.
she's
Alex.
dragging a dog, but she says hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Where's my Rainy? Rainy Banani.
There he is.
What up?
Hi.
There's Drake,
Hi, Drake.
staring blankly into the camera.
Uh,
Oh,
Merc?
this lighting's stupid.
punch yourself. Merc, punch yourself right in the mouth.
In the mouth. In the mouth.
I'm with you, Merc.
And it was 9 months, not 90 days. Oh, it's loud in here.
Oh, 9 months. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Your beard's probably 9 months long. How do I get involved in the Zoom, Amber? Amber, join us in the Discord and our private Facebook group. That's where we post all our links to all our Zoom meetings. We have multiple other live streamers that we are connected with. Our community is huge and growing. We recover better together. That's how Fleece is going to post those in the comments. And now, Jake, 9 freaking months, brother. How the heck did you do it? Nice lighting. I'm going to give you crap. You give Teeter crap for lighting. That is probably the worst lighting I've seen in my life. There we go.
Trying to.
I got your back, Teeter.
There.
Oh,
better?
yeah.
Yeah, look at
And a
that.
double bicep. That's lats.
Oh, Jake. is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Depends on it, and it depends on the category. Like bodybuilding, fist in, physique is fist out, or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, give us a show.
Yeah, I love it.
you know, I do those for tips.
Ooh.
Come on, super chat.
But 9
Yeah.
months, I did SOAR. You know, I did the 90 days at SOAR. That turned into like 5 months because COVID hit, and we were doing the workouts at home. We were doing the Zoom meetings, and just being connected there, and then really like getting involved with recovering addicts and continuing to be involved with SOAR and just incorporating recovery 24 hours a day. Like the Discord, Zoom meetings, you know, continuing to read books, continuing to gather that knowledge and like have the conversations and connect with other people. Like really those have been the biggest components of my recovery, is just connecting with, you know, everybody on the Discord, everybody, you know, via the stream, getting involved in the stream. That was a big deal as well. And just keeping in the forefront of my mind, like how I felt during that last relapse in February, and, you know, building a life, like my relapse prevention plan is my lifestyle. Like I can't I can't think of the last time that I didn't automatically have a solution to a craving or to just a negative situation. You know, whether that solution came from practicing one of these habits I've developed, whether it's jumping on the Discord, calling LT, calling my mom, my sister, reaching out to my sponsor, just doing all of those things doing all of those things, it's just become a habit. It's all habits.
So in your relapse prevention plan, your strengths to getting to 9 months sober is when you're facing troubles, hard times, triggers, you know, life on life term situations. You've habitually made reaching out to people in your support system a habit.
Yeah, like
Awesome.
It's automatic now. Like just because for me, I had to give myself permission to turn my will over to the Creator. I had to surrender to myself and not run on my own will. I found so much strength and vulnerability, like you were saying, those big bearded axe swinging bastards are, you know, some of the most emotional people. Like I cry all the time. Like if I'm sad and I feel tears coming, I don't try to suck it up, man up like society likes to say, and I just let that shit go, because that's where I found my strength, is in being vulnerable and being open and honest about my emotions with people that I trust and people that I care about.
That's awesome, brother. Heck yeah. Link wanted to say something.
Cameron, watch your mouth.
Still Cameron to watch his mouth.
Cameron, Link says watch your mouth.
Awesome, bro.
Don't worry about it. I'm on the stream.
Congratulations on 9 months, someone says.
Thank you.
Annette. Awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, brother. We're going to hit our outro if you want to stick around for that.
Hell yeah.
All right. Until Thursday night when Jake will be back on the show, do not put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong. Work your program. And remember, we recover
better
together.